Hello guys and welcome back to Ram's Glam. I am doing some makeup for a high school friend today, so come with me. Here's the setup. You can see all my lights. If you have any questions, let me know. So let's get started. So here's the beautiful Dana. She is a lovely redhead and she told me to just do whatever I want, which is the best kind of model. So we clipped her hair back, put some of these gold eye patches on. And then after we let that sink in, I put some tape in. I like to try to get a good angle for the wing. And then I go in and I like to carve out the eyebrows with some concealer. And here you'll see that I'm just carving out the brow, taking it down all the way to the tape. So when I'm doing concealer for a soft glam or a more full glam look, I like to make sure that I'm getting a good base layer of it. So that means taking enough on my brush, making sure there's enough product. I'm using the Dior concealer here. And then I am just taking it across the lid. You'll see I have like a light layer right now. I'm not really doing any blending yet. I'm letting it get a little tacky, a little dry. Taking it to the middle. And then I'm picking up some more for the other eyelid. I do like to let the concealer dry a little bit, so whether that be like a minute or two. I don't usually let it do too long. It's not really necessary in my opinion. And then I do like to set it. So here I am doing the other eye, just taking it across the eyelid, blending it towards the middle. Now, as I'm picking up some more concealer for her eye, you can see already the difference that it makes. I haven't even blended anything, but some of the redness has been taken out. So as you can see, me and Dana are a little chit-chatty. So here I am going in with the rest of the concealer. Just slapping that on. And here I start to do a little bit of the blending. Very light blending. So I'm just going to go in before I get really down to blending. I'm just going to go in and make sure that it's all coated. And then I go in, lightly tap any excess off. Making sure no crazy edges are seen. Everything's soft and diffused. And again, these are just patting motions. We don't want to swipe away what we just did. We do want that base layer. Again, pat, pat, pat. Sometimes I find it helpful to lift the person's eyebrow to get a little bit more of the surface area of the eyelid. And I'm just carving out the top of it a little bit. As you can see, I am a eyes first artist. I honestly get too many teary-eyed brides and clients to not be an eyes only artist. I would like to one day not have to do eyes first. I feel like the base is so much faster for me, but I digress. So then I set the eyes with some Huda powder. Sometimes I set with the Laura Mercier. It's whatever I'm feeling that day. And then I'm going in with my bronzer shade. So for Dana, I am using Patrick Ta. She's statuesque. I'm just buffing that real quick, and then I'm going in with another shade by Patrick Ta. A little soft, warm brown. And I like to mix warm and cool together a little bit, especially on a fair skin tone like Dana. Sometimes things will pull really orange, which is why I actually like the Patrick Ta bronzer. I feel like it's a little more in the middle of a neutral and cool tone. So I go in after that with the Patrick Ta eyeshadow. I really love that Master Mattes palette as well by Makeup Mario. I kind of switch between the two, but for Dana, I like the cool tones in this as well. And then I'm going in the crease with a deeper transition color. With Dana, I really wanted to do some sort of matte look. I love to do a classic look on a redhead as well. She has these beautiful bangs, and I just wanted the focus to just be on her eyes. Nothing crazy. So I'm going in with another transition shade, and I'm looking at the crease for her, and I'm thinking I'm going to deepen it a little bit more. So I go in as I'm talking and talking. Going in with a little light touch, buffing it out into the crease and into the brow bone just to get that really effortless, seamless transition. I really don't love the stark difference type of look. If you know, you know. So next up, I was going to stop there at first for her transition shade. I didn't want to go too deep, but then I kept looking at it and the camera and I just felt like something needed to be a little bit more defined. So I went in with a even darker shade for the crease, kind of did a wash of it everywhere. Really wanted to get some definition. And that's the thing with the camera, guys. Sometimes you put on makeup and then all of it washes away with all the camera lighting and the settings. So I did go in and kind of deepen it because I wanted it to look good for you guys. So here I am going in again, clean brush, diffusing edges, diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. And now I'm going to go in with a lighter transition shade just for the brow bone and just to clean up anything on the edges. And look how good her brows look, guys. I didn't even fill them in yet. Brow gel. She works wonders. Stamping some dark eyeshadow on the lash line. And now I'm going in with some concealer and just carving out a little bit of that inner crease. I want that inner highlight to be super bright and kind of noticeable, but still subtle. So we are going to cut the crease, but we're going to buff out and diffuse the edges. And that's what you'll see me doing here. Just nice buffing motions. And now I'm going in with some liner. This is with the Inglot gel liner. I like to do this kind of in sections. I also don't breathe when I'm doing eyeliner. I don't know how you could. Dana is just talking away. But I'm focused. You see that? That's focus. And now that she's done staring me in my soul, I go back in a little bit on the top, a little bit in the corners. I like to have them close their eyes for this and just get in that corner. And now I'm going in with some skin prep. Skin prep is so important, you guys. Your base will not last without a good skincare or skin prep. So after I match her, I put in some skin food, and I can put that link in the caption. This is a really good kind of skin mask for people that have super dry skin, especially in the winter. It's everybody, right? Dana doesn't even have that dry of skin, but it still really helps soak it in. And if you feel like there's too much at the end, you can always take a little bit of some micellar water and take it off and after it's soaked. And that's what you'll see me doing here. I want to make sure that there's no excess. And now I'm going in with the NARS foundation. This is the Sheer Luminous. And I just like to stipple that on with a flat brush. Making sure I get all the edges, no harsh lines. Cleaning up that wing edge. Then I'm flipping my brush to the other side and making sure that I'm getting all of it off my brush. Now I'm putting a little bit more and going in on the rest of the face. Just goes on like butter. Kind of getting in the crevices of the nose, a little bit on the sides. And now I'm going to go in on the forehead. Now the forehead tends to be a little bit drier for kind of everybody, so I do like to layer this on, and then when I take a foundation brush, I do kind of stipple it in a little bit and buff that into the skin, just so there's no cakiness or anything different. So once we get that foundation on, I start blending away, buff, buff, stipple, stipple. And this NARS foundation is just too good. Making sure I'm going in sections. I do like to do this before it dries down. It tends to dry a little quicker than some other foundations. And now we're going in with a cream bronzer. This cream bronzer is from NYX. And I'm just stippling that on to the skin and buffing out. That's that same brush I used for the foundation, and that helps it give that really good diffused look. And then after that, I like to go in a little bit again and make sure that there's no harsh lines. So if you can see right now, there is a little bit of a harsh line between her cream bronzer and her foundation, and I just want to go in with a little bit of foundation and go over the top of that. This is almost like an underpainting method, but it wasn't supposed to be because this bronzer pulled a little too orange on her still. And this was the next one. This isn't the She's Statuesque. I just used the powder for that one, but I should have used the cream contour as well. Sorry, Patrita. Love a Rare Beauty blush. This is Hope. Or Happy? This is Happy. Honestly, universal pink for so many skin tones. And then I go in with some concealer at the end. So I do go kind of the perimeter of the face in, and I feel like that helps kind of make it really blended and soft looking. So I take it up the face, snatch everything up, and then you'll see me going in with that same concealer brush as before. And this is the Kat Von D concealer brush. You can see I'm really patting that in. I don't want to really disrupt the makeup. I kind of want it to stay put, but I do want those edges to be blended out. And now I'm going in and just setting everything. I do love the Huda powder for this type of thing, especially for my fair skin girlies. This is the Cherry Blossom powder mixed with the Laura Mercier. And I'm just patting it all around the face. Just a very light layer. Putting a little more blush back on after we lost some of it. And I'm mixing a few different blushes. If you guys are interested, let me know. Putting a little bit more of a highlight on there. I had the Dior highlight palette in my hand, if you caught that. And I just kind of thought, maybe we'll jazz it up a little bit. She said, go for it. So I went for it and put a little highlight on top of her eyelids. Just something subtle. And I'm just going ahead and cleaning up the under eyes a little bit with some powder. A little more highlight. A little bit on top of the lips. She has great lips. And then I'm going in and just making sure, again, everything is nice and blended. Here are the lashes. These are Lily lashes. She's an OG for a reason. I love her lashes. They really give that wow effect, I feel like, to the makeup. And here you'll see that I am just merging the lashes and the mascara. So first I'm putting in a light coat of mascara. Just curling her lashes a little bit. She had a lash curl before, and I think she still has some of the effects of it. So she did have some pretty curly lashes that I wanted to get a little straightened out before putting on some individuals. We tried the Lily Lashes, but she was staying in for the day, so I didn't want to have her walking around with these huge lashes that are very voluminous. So we went in and put some falsies, and these are the Falscara individuals, the cluster lashes. These are not fun to put on, guys, but they do look really good in person. Now I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Fair, just kind of carving out her lip line. I don't like to overline too much. It's really not my style. If I do anything, I like to do it on the top, a little bit on the pout, and a little bit just at the very bottom. And here you'll see me getting on my knees for this because the chair is just too short, and I wanted to make sure I got a good angle. So here I am, doing my girl right. She started tearing up. See, these little clusters are annoying. Just fixing them for her so she feels more comfortable. And going back to the lip. After that, I like to kind of go in and blend it out. Very soft. I saw this tip from Beyonce's makeup artist that he posted on Instagram. So good. And then this is the Pillow Talk Medium 2 Charlotte Tilbury. Taking a lip brush and going around and just making sure it's a nice even color. And crisping it up again with the liner. Optional, but I like to do it to help any defined edges. And then this is a little gloss on top. This is Opal by Maybelline Lifter Gloss. I still feel like it comes off. They say it doesn't lift, but I don't know. Little under eye shadow. This is again the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. Just smudging that along the lash line. Here's a closer look at that. And look at that highlight and blush. Oh, so good. And here's a side action. A little va-va-voom with the brush. We don't even know what's going on, but I think the under eye eyeshadow sometimes really pulls the look together. Finishing touches on this look, I'm taking a little dental stick thing. It's like a mini mascara wand, guys. I have to show it to you in a close-up view. But essentially, I like to kind of marry the lashes together this way and kind of make it all seamless so it seems like your lashes. Another finishing touch, I'm just going in with a little bit of bronzer from Patrick Ta. Again, this is the She Statuesque, and I'm just putting it in some places that kind of are a little bit of faded away now from the Huda powder and all that, so buffing it in. Lastly, some sprays. This is the Charlotte Tilbury spray in the Artist Kit Company bottles. And then the One Size setting spray, of course. Gotta make sure that thing is sealed on. And I like to fan you guys off just so you don't have to sit there with a wet face all day. Here's the reaction. Makeup artists are human too, guys. I still was a little nervous to show her her makeup. So on the side, I was telling her, tell me if you hate it. It's okay. I won't be mad. And she's saying, no, I like it. The lip is a good choice. And here's the reveal. I feel like with her red hair, it's giving me Charlotte Tilbury vibes, but you guys let me know. It really is what inspired me to use that lipstick today, but could just be me. Anyways, love you guys. Let me know what you think.